What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Z-Man here, and it is Christmas Eve. I figured I'd jump in real quick, check in with you guys, let you guys know what's going on. So I guess first, let's get down to the music, enjoy the show. This is Wizards of Winter by the the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. So enjoy, I'll be back in a few. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is Christmas Eve, and I hope you guys are all having a great one. If you guys are listening to this, a couple days or I should say a couple days later, then I hope you guys had a great Christmas. But yeah, I'm sitting here chilling, hanging out with the family. Figured I'd jump on for a few minutes. Guess what I just finished watching, folks? I just finished watching The Interview. Apparently, they decided to release it a little bit early on Google Plus, or not Google Plus, excuse me, on Google Play Store, stuff like that. So if you really want to check it out, you don't feel like going to the theater to watch it, you can download it off iTunes, Google Play, stuff like that. I believe you can stream it for $5 on YouTube if you can't get a hold of either one. So if you just have access to a computer and you have a credit card, go over to YouTube if you really want to see this movie, if you don't feel like going out to the theaters. Great movie. I recommend it. I laughed throughout the entire thing. There was a couple times where I was like crying tears out of my eyes. If you're a Seth Rogen, James Franco fan, you enjoy any of their previous work, then I definitely recommend going to see this movie. Really, really funny cast. A lot of cameos. Really witty comedy. I mean, for those of you guys who keep calling them stoner comedies and stuff like that, it was fairly funny for somebody who's not interested in those movies. I recommend it. It was a good time. Obviously not a movie that you want to bring the whole family to, but if it's just you and you have some kids or just your family that's over the age of 18, I would suggest going to see this movie. It was very funny. It made some very poignant points within the movie itself. I don't want to ruin a thing because I hate it when people give out spoilers. So you don't have to worry about that on this show, folks. There will be no spoilers here. But I will tell you right now, I highly recommend it. it was a very funny movie, and they made some very, very, very good observations. A lot of the things they showed in the movie are actually true from what I understand about North Korea, but then again, it's all speculation, and we can only go by what people who have defected from the country actually have to say about it. But all in all, I can see why they didn't. I'll put it to you this way. I see why North Korea, or at least Kim Jong-un, I can see why they didn't want this movie put out there. But I felt, I gotta say, I felt a good amount of pride, like I was throwing a middle finger in the face of Kim Jong-un just by watching this movie. So, just by exercising your right to freedom of speech and freedom of expression, I suggest that you at least, even if you don't watch the movie, you can at least buy the movie for $5 and contribute, because you have plenty of friends and family who can watch the movie you may not enjoy it, but they're even going as far as allowing you to download the movie for $5 and your entire family can watch it for one low price, versus everybody having to pay per ticket going to the movies tomorrow, which I still recommend. If you don't want to watch it on a tablet like I did, or you don't want to watch it at home, I still recommend going to the movie theaters and watching it, because it was definitely a movie worth seeing it's definitely worth seeing on the big screen, and it was so good that I almost regret not going to see it in theaters, which I may still go to see it in theaters just because it was that funny. So, definitely check out the interview with Seth Rogen and James Franco, and a whole plethora of other stars in this movie. There's so many cameos in the beginning of this movie. I was actually shocked at the things that they were allowing, some of these celebrities were allowing them to go to the lengths they were going, just because they were making fun of them so hardcore. But I will admit that it, again, was a great movie, and I cannot say nothing but good about this movie. So, we're going to take a quick musical break, and we'll come right back after this. And we're back. So, like I said, I went and I saw the movie The Interview, and it was a kick-ass movie. I really have to admit, they really blew me away. I had low expectations. Just the fact that maybe, I don't know, I figured maybe just the fact that they were willing to bail on it the way they did, it may not have been the greatest movie in the first place. But I gotta admit, I went into it with fairly low expectations. Actually, excuse me, I went into it with high expectations, actually. I was expecting it to be, I don't even know what I was expecting. I was just expecting it to be over the top when it comes to the way North Korea acts, and I figured they were really going to caricaturize them, but in reality, they actually were fairly accurate as to the stories that have been portrayed. So they pretty much stuck to it. So I really understand why North Korea didn't want it out there, because there was a lot of things that they said that they were talking about that, or that they said in the movie and portrayed that were fairly accurate. So, trying to think here. In other news, we're going to move on to a less lighter subject here, is another gentleman just outside of Ferguson was shot by the police, another young African-American gentleman, but this time there's video evidence of him pointing a pistol at the officer. And yet, there were supposedly still protests breaking out. Seriously? Seriously? So, at this point, all these idiots are allowed to point guns at police officers anytime they want, make police officers feel threatened, and they're just allowed to do whatever they please. And we're not allowed, whether it's, a civilian or a police officer is not allowed to defend themselves in that case. That is asinine. That is complete and total ignorance. I mean, really. Oh, you don't want to admit that your child is a horrible person and pointed a gun at a police officer? Guess what? I don't care what color you are, what color the police officer is. If you point a gun at somebody who's trained to react to a firearm pointed at them with lethal force, you're going to die. That's the way it works. So, I don't know what the hell possessed this young man to point a pistol at the police. Probably thought that he was going to shoot him and get away. I don't know. They didn't report whether the gun was real, whether it was loaded. All they reported was that the young man didn't squeeze off a shot, which in the officer's case is lucky, because if you look on the video, he's pretty close. So, whatever the case is, it wasn't a very smart decision for the young man to point a pistol at a police officer. So, I guess I'm not going to touch on that too much because I don't know all the details yet, and I don't want to give out any false information. Right now, it's all speculation. They don't know whether or not the officer had his dash cam on his car on. Supposedly, he might have been wearing a lapel cam, but it wasn't on. There's all this, loose information flying around that I can't confirm or deny at the moment. So we're just not going to touch on that. But, so I guess I'll keep people posted. I'm probably not going to do a podcast tomorrow because my entire family is going to be home tomorrow. And we're going to be spending the day together doing other things. Right now, my family's all out visiting other people for the night, getting their hellos into the local friends and family in the area. And that's about it. So I'm just here taking a break. Me and my sister decided to watch The Interview together, and it was a very funny movie. So if you really want to go, see this movie, like I said before, if you're a fan of Seth Rogen and James Franco and any of the movies they made, like Pineapple Express or This Is the End or anything like that, wasn't quite as I'm trying to think here, sexually vulgar as some of the things in This Is the End or other movies, but they still held true to their style. I guess you could say their style of movie making. But it was a very entertaining movie. So that's really about it, guys. That's really all I have to report right now. So I guess we're gonna finish out with some music, and this is it for now. This is Z-Man signing off, and all I ask for you guys to do is, if you get the chance, even if it's a small thing, just do one act of kindness, one small thing, just to help somebody else out. Maybe you stop at a fast food place, pay for somebody's lunch behind you if you have the money, or make sure. Maybe pay somebody's toll in front of you if it's only like $1.50 toll. It doesn't have to be a big deal. Just something to inspire somebody else to do something nice. Because if we all did one nice act every day, this world would be a much better place. So this is Z-Man signing off, wishing you guys a very Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Easter, Happy Hanukkah, whatever holiday that you enjoy celebrating with your family. I hope you and yours have a good one. I wish you guys all the happiness in the world and all the peace that God or whatever deity that you like to pray to brings you. So, like I said before, this is Z-Man signing off, asking, as I've always asked time and time again, are you ready?
There's bound to be a ghost at the back of your closet. No matter where you live, there'll always be a few things, maybe several things, that you're gonna find really difficult to forgive. There's gonna come a day when you feel better. You'll rise up free and easy on that day, and float from branch to branch, lighter than the air. Just when that day is coming, who can say, who can say? Our mother has been absent ever since we founded Rome. But there's gonna be a party when the wolf comes home. We're gonna commandeer the local airways to tell the neighbors what's been going on. They will shake their heads and wag their bony fingers in all the wrong directions, and by daybreak we'll be gone. I'm gonna get myself in fighting trim, scope out every angle of unfair advantage. I'm gonna bribe the officials. I'm gonna kill all the judges. It's gonna take you people years to recover from all of the damage. Our mother has been absent ever since we founded Rome. But there's gonna be a party when the wolf comes home.
Merry Christmas, everybody.